The Little Prince. After the little prince visited these planets, he came to Earth and landed in the Sahara Desert in North Africa. There, he met a pilot whose plane had crashed, and they became friends. While the pilot was trying to fix his plane, the little prince shared stories of his travels. However, the more he talked, the more he missed the rose. The little prince also met a fox who taught him a very important lesson. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. This means that the most important things, such as love and friendship, can't be seen just by looking with our eyes. Instead, we must truly feel them with our hearts. The fox also stated, "The bonds we create come with responsibility." This taught the little prince that taking care of the rose meant he was forever connected with her.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to English for You. I'm Mike.
And I'm Laura.
And we are back with The Little Prince, or...
Le Petit Prince.
That's right, Le Petit Prince. That's right, the famous story. It's actually a French story, so it's okay for us to say the title in French. We're not just showing off. It does come from France. In fact, I just read a book. It's the writer is from a town, the second biggest city in France, called Lyon. And if you go there, the airport near the city is named after the writer. Because he was a famous pilot as well. So there you go.
Right.
If you want to visit the airport named after the guy who wrote one of the most famous stories in the world, The Little Prince, go to the French town of Lyon. Anyways, let's get back to our story. The Little Prince has been off on his journey for a little while. He's been traveling around the universe, the galaxy, the solar system, visiting planets and meeting new people. And he's met some very strange people, but also people with a lot of knowledge and wisdom who are helping the Little Prince to understand himself and his world more and more. So let's get back to their story, because as the Little Prince continues his journey, he is going to be coming very, very near us. Very near us. So let's get into it. It says, after the little prince visited these planets, he came to Earth, yay, and landed in the Sahara Desert in North Africa. A very exciting and interesting place to visit. Have you ever been to the Sahara Desert?
No.
Me neither. But anyways, it's a good place to land a spaceship, I suppose. Not a lot of trees to hit, a lot of empty space. Maybe that's why he went there. But of course, it's also very dry, hot, and full of sand.
Sahara Desert 就是撒哈拉沙漠，非常有名哦。所以在小王子造访了这些星球之后呢，他来到了地球诶，所以很靠近我们哦。他降落在北非的撒哈拉沙漠。
Yeah, Sahara. Some people might say it more British style, Sahara, the Sahara Desert, but Sahara, both are okay. And of course, that is the largest desert in the world in the north part of the African continent. What did he meet in the desert? No, don't say camels. That's very funny, very clever, but no. He met a pilot whose plane had crashed, and they became friends. Oh, that's very nice. I mean, not so nice for the pilot whose plane had crashed, but nice that he met someone to become friends with in the middle of the desert. What is a pilot? I mentioned that the writer of this story was a pilot as well. In real life, a pilot is a person who flies a plane. That's basically what we call the person up there controlling the plane. So you don't drive a plane, you fly a plane, and the person flying the plane is not a flyer. We would call them a pilot. All right. So generally, if you take a plane like on a holiday from, Taipei to somewhere else, you would have two people at the front, both able to control the plane, the pilot and the co-pilot, basically the assistant pilot. But both of them have all the knowledge to help the plane take off, fly it to its destination, and land the plane. And if you study hard, you too could be a pilot as long as you pass all your tests. Back to the example sentence, the pilot says it will take about 3 hours to fly to Japan. And, well, since he's flying the plane, I guess we just have to believe him. And we also had the word crash. This pilot crashed. That is something pilots do not want to do. And in fact, most people don't want to crash anything because to have a crash is to have an accident, generally in some kind of moving vehicle where you hit something that you don't want to hit very quickly with a lot of violence and people get hurt and cars get destroyed and terrible things happen in crashes. Of course, airplane crashes are even worse. If an airplane falls out of the sky and hits the ground, this is not a good situation. So crashes should be avoided if at all possible. It says the car began to skid on the icy road and ultimately crash into a nearby tree. Oh, that sounds bad.
OK, 我们看到两个单字一个是 pilot, 就是飞行员，它是个名词。For example, the pilot skillfully navigated the airplane through turbulent weather, ensuring a safe and smooth flight for the passengers. It's good to know, because we don't want any crashes. Crash 是什么呢？就是坠毁或是猛撞的意思，它是个动词哦。For example, the car crashed into a tree, causing significant damage to the front end.
Oh dear. All right, back to the story. While the pilot, remember the pilot who crashed in the desert, while the pilot was trying to fix his plane, the little prince shared stories of his travels. Okay, well, I guess the pilot is happy for some company, happy to hear the little prince's exciting stories as the pilot is fixing his plane. Also, we could, of course, say he's trying to repair his plane. He's trying to get it back into working order after the crash, but still, he's entertained with stories of the little prince's travels.
Travels 注意哦，大家有没有发现后面有个 s？ 它当作复数的可数名词的时候，是有着长途啦，或是一系列的旅程或是旅行。所以课文是说，当飞行员试图修理他的飞机的时候，小王子就分享了他旅行的一些故事哦。
Okay, back to the story. However, the more he talked, this is the little prince we're talking about here. However, the more he talked, the more he missed the rose. So as he's telling the pilot about his adventures, his travels, he realizes that he's been away for a long time from his little asteroid B612, and he misses his friends, especially that Rose, his one true good friend from his asteroid home, the Rose he used to talk to all the time.
OK, 然而呢，他说的越多，就越想玫瑰哦。那这里有没有提到 the more, 就是今天的 language in focus。好的，今天的 language in focus 要看到的是 the 叫比较级，然后后面加主词加动词，然后逗点 the， 然后再加比较级，然后后面再接主词再加动词。OK， 这个句型是将两个主词加动词加补语结构中的补语提前到句首，变成倒装句哦，并以 the 再加比较级作为其补语，带出越怎么样就越怎么样的意思哦。那第一个 the 所引导的是副词子句，第二个的 the 所引导的才是主要子句哦。那这样说大家可能还是不是很清楚，一定要听例句会更加有概念。For example, the more you practice playing the piano, the better you will become at it. 你弹钢琴练习的越多，就会弹得越好，这样的意思。Or the earlier you wake up in the morning, the more time you will have to prepare for the day ahead. OK, 早上起床越早，你就有越多的时间为新的一天做好准备。Or you could also say, the more frequently you practice speaking English, the more confident you will become in your language skills. 哇，你练习说英文的次数越多，你对自己的语言能力就越有信心啦。那再要注意哦，就是如果比较级的形容词用来修饰名词，而不是当补语使用，则修饰的名词应该要紧跟在比较级的形容词后。举例来说 ，the more effort you put into your studies, the better your grades will be. 你在学习上投入的精力越多，你的成绩就越好哦。
Okay, back to our story. It says, the little prince also met a fox who taught him a very important lesson. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Ooh, that's pretty heavy wisdom there. So it's only with the heart that one can see rightly or truly or correctly. You have to see things, think about things, feel things with your heart. What is essential is invisible to the eye. So the important things aren't things that you might, be able to think about or measure or judge. You just have to feel if it's the right thing to do. And I think sometimes this is true, especially when we're talking about relationships between people, right?
For sure.
Trust your heart, people often say.
Okay, and we also saw the word essential here, which is very important. Essential 这是一个形容词，表示必要的、重要的。那小王子呢，还遇到一个狐狸哦，这个狐狸就教了他一个非常重要的道理，只有用心才能看得清楚，因为重要的东西用眼睛是看不见的。Very deep.
Very, very deep. And kind of get the fox's wisdom there. It gets explained to us in the next sentence. This means that the most important things, such as love and friendship, can't be seen just by looking with our eyes. So there you go. Yes, relationships, especially important relationships involving love and friendship, they can't be seen just by looking with our eyes. We have to feel with our hearts. So, if someone is acting like your friend, but you always feel like they're hiding something from you, maybe you should listen to your heart rather than looking at all the nice things they're buying for you or the compliments they're giving you. If you feel it's not true, maybe you should trust that feeling. Sometimes with friendships, that is the smart thing to do. A friendship is basically just being in a relationship with a person where you are friends, all right? So if you're friends with someone, you can say, John and Mary are my two good friends. That relationship you have with them is a friendship. For example, Ursula's first friendship was with the little girl who lived across the street. They were both 5 years old, but Ursula hasn't seen her in many years. Oh, that's too bad. Maybe she can find her on Facebook or Instagram or wherever and, start their friendship over again.
Okay, friendship 就是友谊啦，它是一个名词。For example, their friendship has lasted for years, built on trust, understanding, and mutual respect. Very important.
So yes, don't always trust your eyes when you're looking at friendships and love. Trust your heart. As it says, instead, we must truly feel them with our hearts. That's feel our relationships, feel the love and the friendships we have with other people. Feel them with our hearts. Don't always think about them too much or trust your eyes. Instead is a very useful word when we want to talk about something is in the place of something or somebody else. All right, so if you have A and then you get rid of A and you go with B, you're going with B instead of A. All right, I don't want to have A, I want to have B instead. Or can I have B instead of A in the place of A? So I still want something, I just want a different thing, and this is how I'm letting you know I want to sort of change. For example, I'm pretty tired. I don't want to go to the night market for dinner. Can we just stay home instead? Right? In place of getting our dinner at the night market, I would like to just get dinner at home.
Okay, instead 这个副词就是反而或是取而代之的事。Okay, 就是你可能要 A 不要 B 这样之类的。For example, there is no coffee. Would you like a cup of tea instead? 好，回到课文是说哇，这意味着爱和友谊等等最重要的东西，不能仅仅用眼睛来看哦，而是要用心去感受。
The fox has some more wisdom for the little prince. It says, the fox also stated, the bonds we create come with responsibility. Ooh, that's also good advice. Very powerful, wise advice here. Something else from the fox. The fox stated this, the bonds we create, or the, relationships, friendships, for example, we create come with responsibility. Yeah, having a friendship is like having a garden. You have to keep keep watering it and tending to it. If you ignore it, your friendship might suffer and go away. But as long as you're sort of taking care of your friendship, paying attention to it, and doing things to help it grow and stay healthy, you should have that friendship for a long time. Those bonds will be long-lasting. This is what the fox stated. When I state something, it's kind of like a word we saw earlier yesterday, claim. I'm kind of telling you what I believe, and I think this is true. I'm telling you that this is a statement, or this is a sentence, this is a group of words or an idea even that I'm saying, this is true, I believe it, and I want you to know that it's true and that I believe it. For example, George stated that he was going to move to Patagonia next year. Everyone, I'm moving to Patagonia next year. I immediately asked him, where is Patagonia? Well, that's a good question. But that's what George stated. That's what he says he's going to do. Move to this very weird, exotic place, Patagonia.
Interesting. State 是什么呢？跟我们昨天学到的 claim 有点类似，就是陈述、说明，它是一个动词哦。For example, the witness will state their account of the events during the trial. We also saw the word bond, OK, 就是有着关系，它是一个名词哦，以及片语 come with something 伴随着什么什么或是附有什么什么。For example, the new laptop comes with a free 1-year warranty.
All right. So, yes, the bonds we create come with responsibility, the fox stated. This is an important bit of advice. This taught the little prince that taking care of the rose meant he was forever connected with her. He has that very powerful, deep relationship with the rose, and he can't just leave the rose and go away forever. No, he has a responsibility. He has to take care of the rose forever. He is connected with her forever. To connect with something, you can physically connect things like the way you plug a lamp into the wall to connect it so you get power. But we also talked about connecting things we can't see. When you have a relationship, you connect with a person. When you meet a person for the first time and you discover that, wow, you have so much in common, right? There's so many of these things about you and that person that are so similar. You like the same thing. You've had the same experience, whatever. You connect with that person. So you make a linkage. You make some kind of relationship. You make a connection, to use the noun form. At his new school, Tony quickly connected with some other kids over their shared love of skateboarding. Yeah, you often do connect over your common interests and hobbies.
Nice. Okay, connect 这个动词就是与他人建立关系，所以常常我们会用 be connected with something or somebody， 就是与什么什么有什么关系哦。For example, social media platforms allow people to connect with others from around the world instantly. 好，回到课文，最后是说到，这让小王子明白哦，照顾玫瑰就意味着他与他就是玫瑰啦，永远有着羁绊。哦
Very, very nice. Do you have our chat question coming up? What are some responsibilities we have in our own friendships or relationships? Explain your answer.
I think some responsibilities we have include offering support, listening actively, and being honest and trustworthy. Yeah, these actions strengthen relationships and foster trust, don't you think?
Very, very good advice that we should all remember.
OK, 如果今天的主题让你觉得意犹未尽，你还可以加入空中家教，和老师、同学一起讨论哦。
All right, guys, last day of The Little Prince coming up tomorrow, so fly on back and join us for that. Vocabulary Review.
Pilot. Flying a plane is not easy, as it takes a lot of training to become a skilled pilot. Crash. The race car driver crashed into the wall and got seriously hurt. Friendship. Henry and Jacob have had a good friendship since they were 3 years old. Instead. I decided not to eat pizza for lunch. Instead, I had a sandwich. State. Yesterday, Margaret stated that she was late because of the traffic, but I know that wasn't true. Connect. Mia connected with her classmate Tim because they both enjoy painting and singing, and they soon became good friends.
智慧小补帖
Essential. Bond.